surrounded by the threat of death. Just a few kilometers from the front, this is also where new life begins. The last maternity hospital in the Donbas. Women from across the region come here to deliver, despite drone attacks, power cuts, and air raids. After almost 4 years of war, it's routine.
Yesterday, there were probably 3 air raids.
When the sirens sound, basement corridors become shelters. Leaving? For many, it's not an option. Not now.
For now, we keep working. We can't change the fact that there are always explosions.
In the midst of war, families stay and children are born. A new life begins. This baby is one of 40 born in this hospital each month, only a few kilometers from Ukraine's battlefield. Anastasia's first baby. Their wish for a child endured even as war raged around them.
A girl, Arisha. I'm so happy. She's so small. My husband and I waited for a long time. We really wanted a girl.
They live even closer to the Frontline and came all the way to induce birth. Their city used to have its own maternity hospital, but it closed due to repeated attacks and heavy damage. Vladimir is the hospital's director. Today, his maternity ward serves an enormous area, the entire Donbas. This bitterly contested region lies along the front line, prized for its strategic position, industry, and mineral wealth.
Now the security issue has worsened. They're shelling almost every day. Mostly they attack the industrial zone. We understand that's the target, but the private sector also gets hit. People are leaving. It's no secret that we doctors are also leaving.
This maternity hospital is now the last refuge for expecting mothers in the area. Although this city too is attacked daily by rockets, glide bombs, and different types of drones. For security reasons, we cannot reveal the hospital's exact location or film the exterior, but we are about 20 to 25 kilometers from the so-called Line Zero, the front line. There used to be at least 4 maternity hospitals in the region, which had to close. The Donbas region has been disputed since 2014, and since then it has become the focus of battle. Many towns have now become military hubs, which makes them frequent targets. The result? Destruction, rubble, abandoned houses. Lives lost and homes destroyed, a nation in grief. More and more people flee, but not everyone can afford higher rents in Western Ukraine or abroad. So they endure and keep living their lives until it's no longer bearable. But how does that work with a newborn?
We will stay at home as long as possible. When it feels impossible for me, for my husband, or for the little one, then we'll leave. But to leave, we need to know where to go, especially with a small child. An apartment in Ukraine is very expensive.
Their coffee shop is one of the few still open in a city just 15 kilometers from the front line. They are determined to stay, just as they refuse to let the war postpone their dream of becoming parents.
Times are hard now, but we can't give up on the children.
Olga is a gynecologist. When the full-scale invasion began in 2022, she joined the military and worked over 3 years at a civilization point. She just returned from the army a few days ago.
They asked me if I wanted to go to the war zone, even as a gynecologist. I said yes. I just wanted to help my country however I could. My main job was stabilizing the injured and evacuating them to safer parts of Ukraine.
Bullets, shrapnel, a grenade exploding in a soldier's hand. The images she shows me are hard to absorb. From holding off death to helping bring new life into the world, the contrast is stark. Olga worked at this hospital during the 2022 attack. The city held firm, as it had in 2014 when it fought off Russian forces. Many say the war in Donbas began here. Now she faces new challenges of a different kind.
There are much fewer people working here than before the war. We are the only maternity hospital in the region, and there aren't enough employees.
Gynecologists are needed desperately, which is why Olga came back to help. Some of her old team members are also here, like Olena, the head nurse. She has worked in this hospital for almost 40 years.
With so many leaving, there are fewer births, but we keep going. Without women bringing new life into the world, there's no future.
Olga, Olena and their team bring new life into the world almost every day. They can deliver babies and perform emergency C-sections even under heavy bombardment.
We have the conditions: a fully equipped bomb shelter with an operating table, beds for mothers and newborns. We can perform operations. We have medicines, instruments, food, water, everything we need. For now, we can keep working. We can't change the fact that explosions happen all around us. You walk down the street and maybe there's one nearby, but you stop noticing. It's like a constant background sound.
We are not allowed to go to the shelter unless there is an official air raid alert. These images are Anastasia's. A few weeks ago, the hospital came under heavy attack. Missiles landed just meters away. Pregnant women and staff rushed to the shelter. Hours later, shattered windows, glass everywhere. An everyday risk, and everyone here knows it. A day after our visit, the hospital is attacked again. Tanya's baby, Alexander, was born this morning mere hours ago. It's their fourth child. Attacks are nothing new where they live, but they've adapted, even if that means living without daylight.
Our upstairs neighbours had their windows blown out, so we covered ours with plywood. Sometimes we don't hear the explosions anymore, but at night it gets really loud. Then we take the kids and go to the corridor away from the windows.
There's also a patriotic reason for Tanya to have children now more than ever. New life matters.
All my family, we're all Ukrainians. I am, and so are my children too.
A new Ukrainian boy born into a time of war. Despite living in a war zone, Katerina says she's lucky. The hospital is nearby, so they can come for regular checkups. Today, they'll hear the baby's heartbeat. With 6 kids at home, this will be their lucky 7th.
Our due date is November. We don't know the gender. It's going to be a surprise.
We meet the whole family in their neighborhood. Bombs rumble in the background. Even the children barely react.
It's impossible to hide. When the kids have online school lessons and we hear the shelling or drones flying over our house, they disconnect from the internet. And we all go to our small corridor with no windows. That's our shelter. Hiding is impossible. Yes, we are scared, but we have to be brave.
Across eastern Ukraine, children take their lessons online from home. Schools closed at the start of the full-scale invasion and will remain online until the war ends. Or at least until a ceasefire takes hold.
When there's an attack, the teachers pretend like nothing's happening, but I think they're scared like us.
The family fled to Denmark in 2022 when the invasion began. But they struggled to adapt, to find work, to feel accepted.
It's difficult to move away even within Ukraine, and abroad too. In the end, home is home.
Even if home means living in a war zone. By law, as a father of more than 3 children, Sasha is exempt from mobilization. But somehow everyone has become a military expert in Ukraine, he says.
The kids are used to the sounds. They can even tell if it's close or far away.
Life goes on between air raids, attacks, and defense. A new normal many here have learned to accept. Back at the hospital, it's time for Anastasia to go home with little Arisha. All 4 grandparents arrive to welcome the new family member into this world. One marked by the sound of bombs and the refuge in the underground shelters. Anastasia tells us later she hopes the war will end soon and that it will just be another chapter in the history books when their little daughter starts going to school.